You can see this has got a bit crazy, my little drawing. It really is a case of trust the process. I've been really struggling with the sizing because this looks really big. So many of you really enjoyed last Friday's video where I took an old cardboard box and I transformed it into a crochet caravan, which you can hopefully see here in the background. This is available as a free crochet pattern on my website, so do go check that out. But I thought this week I would continue with the doll's house theme, and what I wanted to do was take a very kind of traditional looking armchair and scale it down to the most popular doll's house scale, which is like 1 to 12, and see if I can actually reproduce that in crochet in a perfect scale model of an armchair. So it was an interesting journey and I had to have a lot of faith in the process. So let's go check out the video. So I think to get some inspiration, I'm just going to search just armchair, real armchairs on Google Images, get some inspiration. And I saw earlier this one, let's open this in a new tab. So I'm thinking something like this. I think it's a really nice design, looks really sort of traditional. And although I'm not going to be able to copy this exactly, I'm going to use it for some inspiration just to see where like the arms roll over, where the cushion is. The feet will probably be quite basic compared to this, would be way too hard to do. But this should give me some inspiration. And I really like the idea of a little cushion to go with it as well. And I was thinking we could use these sort of traditional studded areas you get on these types of armchairs. I think I could use tiny little knots. So I'm already getting inspired, but I went through my yarns. I couldn't really find sort of similar colors to this. I really like this shade of blue, but I think this is too dark. It kind of looks the same on camera. This is too green. So I went to the yarn store. To pick up this color, so it's not sponsored, but I'm going to be using a sport baby weight yarn. So quite a thin yarn, but not as thin as like a lace weight, because I feel that if I use a lace weight, it makes it a little bit more fiddly for people to try. So I'm thinking this is a good compromise. And I managed to pick up this kind of gold, which is virtually identical, for the feet, and also got a plain white just in case anyway. So I wanted to do just a little quick catch up whilst I'm working out the measurements. You can see this has got a bit crazy, my little drawing, and I've just cut out some cardboard pieces. I'm getting really confused with these edge bits here. So what I'm going to do is just literally work on the back piece here and the seat piece here, and then work out the sizing that I need. But I'm working to a 1 to 12 inch scale, which is like the most popular doll's house scale. To do that, it's like 1 inch is equal to 1 foot. So you basically divide numbers by 12. So I've got some realistic sizing of an actual armchair, and I'm just dividing the measurements by 12. But even then, I'm going to be adjusting it to fit. So I'm just crocheting the back piece, and I've just curved off the edges. I think that'll be a nice feature. And yeah, just working a plain crochet piece, and then the other side I'll cover the cardboard and pad this side. So let's see how that turns out. This is where I have got to now, and it really is a case of trust the process. I've been really struggling with the sizing because this looks really big in the sort of seating area. Now I know there's going to be arms here, and there's going to be bits that come out at the top. This is the size of the cushion. So you can see there's this gap here, but that will be where the back cushion is. So I'm hoping I can just trust the process and everything will come together. And this, I'm working a separate cushion. This is going to be padded, so it will be thicker. A separate cushion to the back, because then I can sort of create some little knots and pull in the texture a little bit to make it look like one of those traditional armchairs. So this is where I am for today. I'm going to stop for today and come back to this tomorrow. I've also been sort of thinking about feet ideas. I've sort of got some of my wooden skewers. You could use sort of toothpicks as well, and I've cut them down to the correct size, which is 1.5 centimeters, and I've put 4 of them together, but I'm going to cover this with crochet, but they do look a little bit small, so I'm really, again, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll see how it all comes together. I can't really remember what I last filmed, but this is what I've got so far. So I've basically got I've got 2 pieces of cardboard that are exactly the same size for the back and the bottom, and I'm still trusting the process. And I've made this separate cushion, which is the same pattern as these pretty much, slight differences. And I've used, I don't know if you can see these tiny little knots, which I've just knotted on the back, just to sort of pull in where you get those traditional parts on an armchair. So we've got the back cushion, and I've made a little front cushion, like so. And yeah, this is what it looks like at the moment, kind of like a dining room chair. And I'm just trying to design the side pieces. So I've got this kind of shape, and it's been really hard to figure out how to do the side pieces, whether I do it as 2 separate pieces. So when I say the side pieces, we've got this arm here, which will be like rolled over, and you have this kind of shape at the back. And I'm kind of using these as a template. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the cardboard inside yet, or just have a piece of crocheted work. But this is where I am at the moment. So this way round, just kind of ignore the cardboard for now. And it's kind of this shape. And the idea is this part, we're going to be rolling over like this, and there'll be another piece here, which will be padded. And then I'm going to try and work on this bit at the top as well. So I really don't know how this is going to turn out. So let's see how it goes. So this has actually gone better than I expected. Here we are. So I have finished both sides, and I just rolled over these top parts, and I just added these like little sort of shapes, and then crocheted both sides, sewed it all together, and I'm just adding the feet, which is exactly what I mentioned earlier. So I've got these tiny little bits of wooden skewers chopped down to about 1.5 centimeters, and I'm just putting those inside. They just add a little bit of strength because they've got to hold up the chair. So I'm just placing these inside. You could probably just use 3, but I've been using 4. Can squeeze in 4, just about. Okay, so all that's left to do now is to sew on the last foot, and then my little chair is finished. And of course we're going to need a little cushion as well, but I might have to do that at a later date because I'm running out of time this week. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So let's just sew on the last foot. And there we go, stands up perfectly. Maybe just point them out a little bit for a bit of style. The back seems a little bit wonky. My sewing is not the best, but we can squidge it all into position. But I'm really chuffed actually, and I'm really surprised how well this has turned out, because I really did have to trust the process because it was looking very sort of long and weird, but actually once it's complete with all the separate cushions, it actually fits really well. It kind of looks like the right size. Make a very good Barbie doll armchair, absolutely. So there we go. What do you think? Let me know. How did it turn out? And maybe I design some other chairs as well. This is the final pattern that we ended up with. So it kind of looks the same as this design. These are the feet. And this was a few mistakes here, but this was the final pattern. So I'll get this written up on the website. It'll be a free crochet pattern that you can go and losing my voice, that you can check out. But yeah, I really hope you like my armchair. And here we are. This is the finished armchair, and I was actually really surprised how well this turned out. I really did have to trust the process because the shape just looked weirdly too long, too big, and I really wanted to adjust it as I went. I was like, no, I shall follow the scaled measurements and just continue it to the end, even if it ends up a disaster. And it actually turned out really cute, so I hope you like it. I shall put this up on the website as a free crochet pattern, and I'll continue the Doll's House series with more Doll's House furniture, and maybe we'll end up creating a whole big Doll's House. We'll see how it turns out, but yeah, I think this is a really good metaphor for trusting the process and just giving things a try. And it doesn't matter if they don't work out, just see how it turns out at the end, and maybe you'll end up with something that looks fairly respectable and comfy. And I think this chair is absolutely adorable, and I'm definitely going to be designing some more chairs, maybe with more of a modern theme. But this one definitely is going to need a little cushion to go with it, so we'll keep an eye out for that as well. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that it's inspired you to maybe try doing some Doll's House furniture from scaled down from real furniture. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the description below, in the comments below. And huge thank you as always to our Happy Bay Plus members and our YouTube members for help making these types of videos possible. And also to anyone who just watches, likes, subscribes, shares these videos. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the channel. And don't forget to check out my other channel, Happy Bay Quantums, for some relaxing sort of thoughtful stories for curious minds, and I'll see you soon for some more crochet creative fun. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi everybody, welcome to another video with me, Laura. Here's another video. Welcome to another crochet tutorial. So many of you enjoyed last Friday's video, seeing my cardboard box transform into a caravan, and we were just crocheting around cardboard. Did I even say that, explain that correctly? Start again.